guys, welcome back to my channel. If you can believe it, we're here for day 4 of Caribathon, and today we are here for another list challenge. And because we've been going through the characters in hashtag Caribathon, we are now up to R. And so because we're doing a non-traditional acronym, I suppose, today we're using R, meaning red. So we're going to be talking about books from countries that have the color red in their flag. And it's something that's interesting to me because there are only, I think, 2, maybe only 1 country right now, which would be Jamaica. Countries whose flags do not have red or white or blue in them. So, you know, red, white, and blue is the country of the United States flag and the British flag. And also a lot of other countries like Cuba and Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, but also a lot of countries around the world. A lot of countries have red or white or blue or all 3 of those colors in their flag. Jamaica is one of, I think, the 2 countries in the world right now that don't have any of those colors. You know, Jamaica's color is black, green, and gold. And we're going to talk about that later in Caribathon. But today we're talking about countries, Caribbean countries, that have red in their flag. And I don't have a book representing all of those countries, but we are going to talk about, I think, 8 of them. So here are some of the countries, and here is a book that represents each one of those countries. And no, all the books don't have red covers, but yeah, we're talking about red today. And so, of course, my shirt, my dress is red and white and black, which we should then start with Trinidad, right? Because that's the color of the Trinidadian flag. We're going to just pretend that this book also has a red cover. Golden Child by Claire Adam I've read this a couple of times now, and I love it. I want everyone to read this book and love it. I know not everyone loves this book. A depiction of country life and the school system and the challenge sometimes of being part of a family where you're not completely represented by all the members of your family. I feel like she really captures that very vividly and very well in this book. And so I love this book. Golden Child by Claire Adam is a book that I have loved and would recommend to you to try it, at least try it for yourself. But yeah, have you read it? Give yourself a point in this list challenge if you've read the books that I list that you've read as well. And if you haven't, consider this a recommendation and go pick it up. So another country that has red in their flag, Cuba. And so we're going to go with Havana Red by Leonardo Padura. We read this in the Run Right Reads book club a few months ago. This series is not necessarily a strong one for me. It is dark fiction. What is it called? It's crime fiction. I feel like it has another name. Noir fiction? I don't remember. But yeah, Leonardo Padura is known for other things. I have another novel by him called Heretics, which I still haven't read. It's a big book, and it is religious, and it's religion and art, which I love those themes, but it's a big book, so I haven't yet read it. But it's meaningful to me for other things. If you've been on this channel for a while, you may know I told the story once. But yeah, Havana Red by Leonardo Padura, because it's red in the title, but also Cuba has red in the flag. Another country that has red in the flag, Haiti. God Loves Haiti by Dimitri Elias Leger. We read this for the book club last year, and I loved it. I felt like the author gave a really complete look at the lives of Haitian people and how how people dealt with life during and after the earthquake, but also a little bit of how the politics in the country affects people, but also how it affects politicians. There's a little bit of there's a supernatural storyline in this book, but you can enjoy the book even if you don't necessarily like that. But I thought that it was really well done to capture how politicians kind of settle what they do when they are corrupt politicians, how they settle that with themselves and with their maker. But yeah, God Loves Haiti by Dimitri Elias Leger. Give yourself a point if you've read this book. Grenada also has red in the flag. Grenada, we met this author virtually last year when we read her book, Force Right by Cindy McKenzie. And I really thought that this story was so moving, so inspiring. It kind of hints at some political things, but because the story is being told through the eyes of a small child, we see things happening, but we don't necessarily understand all the politics that goes into some of the things that are happening. So we see a little bit of the impact, we see some of the effect, we see how people respond to what's happening. Maybe it whets your appetite for learning a little bit more about Grenadian politics. It did for me. So yeah, Grenada has red in the flag, and so this is a book that you could read to experience a little bit about Grenada. So yeah, give yourself a point if you read Cindy Mackenzie's debut novel, Force Ripe. Dominican Republic has red in the flag. Julia Alvarez is a very prolific writer. She is probably the best known writer from the Dominican Republic, and this is one of her middle grade novels. Give yourself a point if you've read Before We Were Free by Julia Alvarez. Talks a little bit about growing up in the Dominican Republic. Give yourself a point if you've read that one. And United States Virgin Islands, Tiffany Yannick's books represent that part of the world really well. So Monster in the Middle is her newest release, but Tiffany Yannick has written some other things that I have read and enjoyed. I really liked her novel, Land of Love and Drowning. We read that one for the book club last year, but I also read this one on my own. I got this arc from the publishers before it was released in October last year. So yeah, give yourself a point if you read this new release by Tiffany Yannick, but give yourself a point if you've read anything by this author, because I feel like, yeah. Monster in the Middle by Tiffany Yannick. She talks a little bit about the immigrant experience in this book, a little bit about people who grow up in the Caribbean, but you know, when they move to other places in the world. She talks about moving to the United States. She talks about moving to Africa and what their lives are like, kind of how their children fare in the African diaspora in other places in the world. So yeah, really enjoyed this one. So give yourself a point for that. Puerto Rico, A Taste of Sugar by Marisol Vera. Alba from Serial recommended this book to me last year. Alba, as well as Lisa from Literal Latina X on Instagram. Both of those ladies have Puerto Rican heritage, Puerto Rican ancestry, and they recommended this book to me, and we read it for the book club last year, and I absolutely loved it. So give yourself a point if you've read The Taste of Sugar by Marisol Vera. So we also have Antigua and Barbuda. They have a beautiful flag that shows the rising sun, and their flag has red. So yeah, representing Antigua, I don't have the physical copy right here, but Joanna C. Hillhouse has a novel called Musical Youth, which I thought was just spectacular. It tackles colorism and a lot of musical background that seems to be innate in the lives of a lot of Caribbean people. And I love how Joanna C. Hillhouse talks about this in her novel, which is written for maybe young adult audience, but I think could be experienced and loved by anyone. So yeah, give yourself a point if you've read that book, and if you haven't, go check it out. So yeah, those are 8 novels from Caribbean countries that have red in their flag, and we'll be back tomorrow with another list challenge. So yeah, let me know how many of these 8 books you've read, and if you have recommendations of books from other countries that have red in the flag that I didn't mention in this video, because I can't mention all the books. Let me know in the comments down below so we can go read them, challenge each other, see how many of our viewers have read those books as well. So yeah, thank you so much for playing. Thank you for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Share this video with someone else you think would enjoy doing list challenges with us. And we'll be back tomorrow with another Caribathon video. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. And until we come back, bye.